Yes, I am streaming to both platforms through the new camera, so that's awesome. Anyways, I wanted to talk to y'all just for a couple of minutes about this past Sunday's message on unbelief. Listen, in Luke 18:8, he says, "I tell you, he will give justice to them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth?" So it's been a couple of days since we talked about this giant of unbelief. And I want to challenge you to activate your faith this week. I want to challenge you to actually do some things that will stretch your faith muscles. Here's a great challenge. I want to challenge you this week, each of you, to literally ask the Lord to speak to you about someone when you're out and about, whether you're at the grocery store, the bank, our massive mall, or getting a cup of coffee, wherever you're at. I want you to be paying attention for the Lord to speak to you concerning someone, and then exercise your faith, face the fear, the unbelief, or the fear of getting it wrong, or even maybe the unbelief, will God really talk to me about a stranger? And go to them. I want you to punch fear in the face this week and start exercising your faith. In Romans 12:3, it says, "To each of us has been given a measure of faith." So what does that mean? That means you were given a measure of faith, and how you steward that measure of faith will determine how it grows, how quickly it grows. Luke 17:5-6 says, "And the apostles said to the Lord, 'Increase our faith.'" So I'm sure the disciples were probably having conversations. They're watching Jesus, heal the sick, cleanse the leper, cast out demons, raise the dead, multiply food. They're watching all of these things happen, and they're like, we need more faith. And so the Lord said, if you have faith as a mustard seed, which is one of the smallest seeds, you can say to this mulberry tree, be pulled up by the roots and be planted in the sea, and it will obey you. Now, isn't that interesting? If you recall, we talked about there's two different types of unbelief. Paul said he received mercy because he was persecuting the church in his ignorance. It wasn't intentional unbelief. He was literally just ignorant, and he thought he was actually doing God a favor by persecuting his body. And of course, he found out that he was wrong on the road to Damascus. And Paul warned I believe Paul wrote Hebrews. Could be wrong. We're not sure. But he warned in Hebrews, it says, "Take care, brothers, lest there be in any of you an evil, unbelieving heart leading you to fall away from the living God." That is the other type of unbelief where it's willful disobedience. So remember, there's unbelief out of ignorance, right? And then there's willful unbelief, which is disobedience. It is rebellion. And so I don't want us to lose momentum this week. I want to keep this issue of allowing the Lord to eradicate unbelief out of your life, and just spend some time this week with the Lord in prayer. Maybe spend some time fasting and praying and asking the Lord to uproot unbelief. We finished Sunday with essentially an altar call and asking the Lord to reveal areas of unbelief in our life. And if there was any willful disobedience, any intentional unbelief, to actually repent of that disobedience. Unbelief is going to keep you from your destiny. It will absolutely keep you out of your promised land, out of the areas of influence the Lord has for you. Remember, if you could step into these areas on your own, what do you need the Lord for? It says that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, right? And so I want to challenge you, allow the Lord to examine your heart. Just like David said, Lord, search me, try me. Ask the Lord to search your heart this week. Ask him to try you, to try the reins of your heart. And in Psalms 37, it says, in your light we see light. With you is the fountain of life. So get before the Lord this week. Allow him to begin to rip those roots of unbelief out. Remember the disciples, when they couldn't cast out the spirit of the demon out of that boy, they said, Lord, why couldn't we cast the spirit out? And he says, because of your unbelief. So there are types of unbelief that only come out through fasting and prayer. So I'm looking forward to this coming Sunday, which is Mother's Day, and we have a surprise for you. Kim Strebeck just accepted my invitation for her to speak this Sunday for Mother's Day. So all you women, you get to hear from a very powerful woman this coming Sunday. And so get out there and watch the kingdom advance and allow the kingdom to advance inside of you so it can advance through you. Bless y'all.